What's up, guys? I'm Isaac, that's Back Road Harley-Davidson, and today I'm here to talk about the Harley-Davidson Breakout motorcycle. Now, these are probably one of the most complimented motorcycles that you can really have because it looks like classic Harley-Davidson. You know, kind of what people expect, because from the factory, it's sort of it's already a custom, lean and mean chopper styled motorcycle. I mean, you've got the massive 21-inch front wheel that's raked out way on out there, complementing that wide rear tire, really making these motorcycles look like those lean, aggressive American muscle that you sort of expect from something called the Breakout. Now, as many of you know, the Breakout has been gone for a little bit, and it was actually just reintroduced in 2023. And this happens to be one of the ones that was brought back. Now, behind me, we have a 2020 Harley-Davidson Breakout. Brought this one back out here to show you sort of how this bike looked like before it disappeared and how it was reamped. Now, you're already probably able to pick out some of the biggest differences here. You do have a redesigned aluminum cast wheel up on the front, but you're still staying true to those lines on the bike. Probably one of the biggest differences is that you went away from this 3.5 gallon tank and went up to this 5 gallon tank, because with 2023, Harley-Davidson they're focusing on further and faster, and that's what we're seeing with the sport touring line, and that's what we're seeing on this Harley-Davidson Breakout. So you've got a 5 gallon tank on this motorcycle, and that's feeding this 117 Milwaukee 8 motor going into that 2.2 exhaust. So before, you only had the 114 with the 3.5 gallon tank. It was cool, but this motorcycle you're gonna find is just a little bit better. And to better accommodate that 5 gallon tank, you do have a redesigned seat, very similar to the one before, but this one, you're gonna feel just a little bit more locked in on this bike. Now, these bikes are already set up for passenger with the passenger pillion and the passenger pegs. Now, this bike behind me here is a pre-owned one, so this quick detach sissy bar was already added, and one of these can be added to these bikes as well. Now, beyond that, there's two other main differences that you're gonna see on this motorcycle. The first one's gonna be the chrome. You'll see that these bikes in all 4 colorways that are offered for 2023. We happen to have the Atlas Silver Metallic here, but most of them are also rocking sort of a two-tone job on them. So you've got the silver with a little bit of gray and some nice little blue accents in there on the tank. But pretty much most everywhere on this bike, it's gonna be decked out in chrome. You've got chrome risers, bars for the full pipe on the heavy breather, chrome levers, turn signals, mirrors, and on the side covers as well. Now, you do still have the quick adjust knob here for the preload on the rear suspension for the Milwaukee 8 Softails. Now, whereas before you were really rocking a lot of black and chrome and trying to have a really good balance of the two, but on this one, they're going for classic custom chopper, so they went ahead and threw a bit more chrome at it. Something else that's carried over onto the new Breakout from its predecessors is the riding position. So you'll see, like I mentioned earlier, the seat is just a little bit different, mainly to accommodate this 5 gallon tank. One thing I am noticing is the kickstand feels a little bit longer. I'm noticing I'm gonna have to almost lean over to the right just a little bit to really get it seated. So maybe it's a little bit longer kickstand. But the riding position you're looking at is you are seeing those forward controls there, and then you're seeing this aggressive, little bit shorter risers on this. So that way you're really relaxed a bit on the bike, but at the same time you're planted in it and you are ready to just do what you're supposed to do on this motorcycle and rip it. But it is a pretty comfortable position, and you do have that cruise control on the left side, so if you need to kind of stretch back a little bit, you can remain upright, and I can still reach the bars if need be. Maybe a little bit taller risers might be nice, but for what this bike's set up to do and really rip through the city, I mean, it doesn't get a lot better than this. So let's see. One thing, like I mentioned, I really like how it's set up. It's really cool with the tank, this chrome strip right here in the middle. You got the Breakout right there. So people don't even have to ask what you got going on. They can see it right there. The gauge is really in a great spot. I can see most everything I need to. I'll switch it on. You'll see that it does carry over the same headlight as before. You've got that nice, more vertical oval shaped, still plenty bright, pretty great. First thing you're going to notice with this bike on is that it does have the check engine light and the low pressure or the oil sensor light. The bike isn't on, so that's what you're seeing there. Now, we do have the flashing ABS light, and we do have the flashing traction control light. Now, those systems, the motorcycle has to get rolling under its own power first for those systems to perform their necessary checks to make sure that they're good to go for you when you're out on the road. Now, when you're driving and you see either of those lights come on after you've already been driving for a little bit, that's to let you know that there might be a little bit of an issue or they're being used. Traction control is really great to see on this bike. As Harley-Davidson's making more powerful motorcycles, they're also making better rider safety enhancements, so that way these powerful machines are very manageable and you can still have plenty of fun with them. And you'll see the traction control is selectable, so you can press and hold it to cut it off if you like, in case bike night runs a little bit long and you'd rather replace that rear tire a little bit quicker, if you know what I'm saying. Excuse me, it does have cruise control, which is fantastic. Once you have cruise control, it's hard to go back to something that doesn't. But on the Milwaukee Softail platforms, you can get the left-hand control module, and you can put a cruise control setup on most motorcycles if that's your setup. Now, like I was saying about the instrument cluster, you've got your readouts up here on the top clamp, then you have a little bar underneath it that has your indicator lights. Now, what you're going to be able to see is for the whole time, you're going to be able to see the speed of the bike in miles per hour as well as your fuel gauge. Then if you select with the top end of the horn button, you can go from the miles on the bike, your trip A, your trip B, your fuel range, your clock, your gear / your RPMs, and then back to the miles on the bike. So go ahead and shut this bike off, and there it is. So go ahead and put this kickstand down and plant it good and dismount. Yeah, this is a very comfortable bike, looks super cool. Definitely one of the bikes that I've seen get the most compliments when they're out and about, because that's about as custom, raked out, chromed out chopper as you can get, and they're cool, plain and simple. So if you want to know more about the 2023 Harley-Davidson Breakout, or particularly this one here in Atlas Silver, here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, definitely stop by, let us know. Or if you're just interested in the Breakouts, want to know more about some of the previous models and some pre-owned options, definitely stop by Tobacco Road or give us a call and let us know. Meantime, ride safe, and we hope to see you soon.